If your dog suddenly climbs onto you, don't assume it's just affection. And when they lick your face, stretch the moment they see you, or sleep right beside you, those aren't random habits either. They're hidden messages about how your dog truly feels about you. By the end of this video, you'll become a master of dog language and understand every dog behavior easily. Number 1. Chasing their own tail. Round and round they go, chasing the one thing they can never catch, their own tail, usually looking thrilled about the entire pointless project. In a puppy, it's almost always harmless comedy. They're young. They spotted a moving thing attached to their body, and the hunt was on before they realized the prey was them. For plenty of dogs, it's just a fun way to burn off a spark of extra energy or drag you into a game. But here's where it earns a second look. When the tail chasing becomes frequent, intense, and genuinely hard to interrupt, especially in a grown dog, it can cross from play into a compulsive behavior usually rooted in boredom, stress, or simply not having enough to do. The occasional spin is just a goofy dog being goofy. A dog that truly can't stop is a dog quietly asking for a fuller day. Speaking of going in circles, your dog spins again every single night right before bed. But that bedtime spin means something completely different. Digging the bed before sleep. Watch your dog tonight, right before they lie down. They'll attack their own bed, scratching, pawing, spinning in tight circles like they've lost their mind. It looks pointless. It isn't. You're watching a ritual tens of thousands of years old running on autopilot. Out in the open, a dog's survival depended on flattening tall grass, shoving away stones, and turning cold dirt into a warm, hidden nest that masked their scent from anything hunting them. Your dog's bed is memory foam now. Their instincts never got the memo. And here's the part most owners miss. The pads of their paws carry scent glands, so every scratch is them quietly stamping that spot as theirs. So when they finally flop down with a heavy sigh, that isn't just comfort. That's a dog who just built the safest place in their entire world, right on top of your clean laundry. That's how your dog powers down for the night. The first thing they do when they power back up looks like a simple stretch, but it's secretly a hello aimed straight at you. The full body stretch when they greet you. Watch your dog the instant they wake up or the second you walk back through the door. Odds are the first thing they do is drop their chest down, stretch their front legs out long, and push their rear up into the air. It looks like an ordinary stretch, and partly it is. Muscles stiffen during sleep and need waking just like ours. But the timing tells a deeper story. When that stretch is aimed directly at you, right as you arrive, it doubles as a greeting and an invitation, sometimes called a greeting stretch. In dog body language, lowering the front while keeping the rear high is closely tied to the playbow, the universal canine signal for I feel good, I'm happy, let's connect. So that big stretch isn't purely physical. Half the time, it's the most relaxed, contented hello your dog has in them. That stretch is a greeting with no strings attached. Their next move is the opposite. A cold, wet demand they'll shove straight into your hand, nudging your hand with their nose. You know the move. You're mid-scroll and a cold, wet nose slams into the back of your hand, a boop, followed by a stare like you owe them money. Funny thing is, your dog had to run a little experiment to learn that trick. At some point they bumped you reacted, and their brain filed it away. This works. Dogs are relentless scientists of cause and effect, and you are their favorite test subject. That nudge is a calculated demand. For a scratch, for a treat, or just for proof you remember they exist. It isn't bad manners. To them, it's plain communication. I'm here, you're distracted, fix it. And here's the slightly humbling part. Your dog has trained you far more efficiently than you've ever trained them. Every single time you cave to that nose, you're proving their experiment worked. They'll nag you non-stop for what they want, yet set down a fresh bowl of water and they'll snub it for a filthy puddle. The reason is stranger than you'd think. Drinking from puddles, hoses, and the toilet. Your dog has a bowl of clean, fresh water sitting right there. So why ignore it for a muddy puddle, the garden hose, or, let's be honest, the toilet? Part of it is temperature and movement. Still water in a plastic bowl goes warm and flat, while a puddle is cool and a running tap is interesting, and dogs instinctively trust water that moves. But here's the genuinely useful part nobody tells you. Where you put the bowl matters enormously. A water bowl crammed right next to the food often gets skipped, and a bowl in a loud, high-traffic corner can feel unsafe to drink from. Move it somewhere quiet and away from the food, and a lot of fussy dogs suddenly drink far more. A pet fountain helps even more, since the motion mimics a stream. The toilet, though? That's just cold water laced with cleaning chemicals. Keep that lid down. If their taste in water makes no sense to you, the way they greet other dogs will make even less. And fair warning, it's about to get embarrassing. Sniffing other dogs' rear ends. There's no graceful way to say this. Your dog greets other dogs by heading straight for the back end, usually at the worst possible moment, in front of people. To us, it's mortifying. To them, it's reading the morning paper. A dog's rear gives off a chemical signature so detailed that one solid sniff tells them the other dog's sex, rough age, health, recent diet, and whether they're stressed or relaxed. It's a complete background check in under 3 seconds. Here's the part that flips it. When your dog stands still and lets another dog sniff them, that's not surrender. It's confidence. They're saying, I'm not worried about what you'll find. And the whole ritual actually prevents fights, because once 2 dogs have read each other's file, there's nothing left to argue about. So no, you can't really train it out, and honestly, you wouldn't want to. It's how they make friends. But not every habit is your dog connecting with the world. Some are your dog quietly falling apart the moment you leave. Destroying your shoes. Come home to a murdered shoe, and it's tempting to decide your dog did it to get back at you. Drop that idea completely. Dogs don't do revenge. They simply don't have the mental machinery for spite. And that guilty look you'd swear you saw is just them reacting to the anger in your body language. So why your shoe, out of everything in the house? Because it's soaked in you. Your scent clings strongest to the things you wear, and when you're gone, chewing on something that smells like you is genuinely soothing to a stressed, lonely dog. The shredding is also a release valve for boredom, for anxiety, for jaws that need a job to do. The real issue isn't the why, it's the danger. Swallowed pieces of shoe or fabric can cause serious harm. So don't punish the panic. Give them something they're allowed to destroy, and the shoes live to see another day. When that anxiety finally burns itself out and they crash, watch the exact shape they collapse into. It's hiding a survival secret. Sleeping curled in a tight ball. Notice how often your dog sleeps wound into a tight little ball, nose tucked under their tail. Even on a giant soft bed with the heat cranked up, that curl is ancient engineering. Folding into a circle conserves body heat and tucks the 2 most vulnerable parts of a dog, the soft belly and the throat, safely behind a wall of spine. For a wild animal sleeping out in the cold and the open, that one shape was the difference between waking up and not. Your dog has a memory foam bed and a locked front door now, but the body still remembers what the mind has long forgotten. And here's the flip side worth knowing. A dog sprawled flat on their back, belly aimed at the ceiling, is telling you something quietly beautiful. They feel so completely safe in your home that they've stopped guarding themselves at all. Awake, though, your dog notices an entire world you can't. And one habit proves it in the creepiest way possible. Staring at nothing or barking at a blank wall. Your dog freezes, locks onto an empty corner, and stares, or worse, growls at a blank wall. It's unsettling. But before you decide your house is haunted, understand what your dog is actually built to detect. Their hearing reaches frequencies and faint sounds you will never register. A mouse shifting inside the drywall, water ticking through a pipe, the electrical hum of a device on standby. Their eyes catch motion in dim light that's invisible to you. Dust drifting through a sunbeam, a shadow sliding along the floor. When they stare at nothing, there's almost always a very real something there. You just don't have the equipment to find it. One honest caveat, because it genuinely matters. In older dogs, sudden staring or confusion can also point to a medical issue. If this behavior is brand new and happening often, that corner deserves a vet. not a ghost hunter. Most of what your dog does is about reading you. This next one is about taking care of you, obsessively licking your face and hands. Why does your dog lick your face and hands like it's a full-time job? Forget the old idea that it's about ranking or submission. The real reason is far warmer. Puppies lick to ask for care and to bond, and that wiring never switches off. For a grown dog, licking you is affection in its most basic, honest form, with a little curiosity about the salt on your skin mixed in. But here's the part that should stop you cold. Dogs can actually smell the chemical shift in your sweat when you're stressed, anxious, or upset, often before you've said a single word about it. And when they pick up on it, a lot of them respond by licking you. They're not just being sweet, they're trying to fix it. So the next time you're quietly falling apart and your dog won't stop licking your hand, that's not random. That's them noticing what no one else did and trying to help. Your dog reads you constantly, and they work just as hard to understand your words. You can actually catch them doing it every time you talk in one irresistibly cute move. The head tilt when you talk. Say your dog's name in that special voice and watch it happen. The head swings sideways, ears up, eyes locked, holding the tilt like they're trying to solve you. It's almost unbearably cute, and for once, scientists openly admit they haven't fully cracked it. The best evidence points to a few things happening at once. Tilting may help them pinpoint exactly where your voice is coming from, and it likely clears their line of sight. A long muzzle blocks part of your face, and a small tilt lets them see your eyes and mouth, the parts that actually carry meaning. There's more. The dogs that tilt the most tend to be the ones concentrating hardest, often on words they genuinely recognize. So that tilt isn't just adorable. It's the visible face of a dog working overtime to understand you, straining to catch the meaning in a language that was never built for them. And the harder a dog works to understand you, the less they're willing to let you out of their sight. Following you from room to room, you get up to grab a glass of water, and there they are, right at your heel. You move to another room. They reassemble at your feet. Some dogs treat you like you're physically attached to them, and there's a real reason for the shadow. Dogs are one of the most social species on Earth, and yours has spent its entire life learning that the good stuff, food, walks, safety, affection, all orbits around you. Certain breeds raise the stakes. Dogs bred to work shoulder to shoulder with humans are practically wired to stay glued to their person. Mostly it's a compliment. You are simply their favorite place to be. But there's a line worth watching. If your dog can't settle at all when you step out of sight, if they panic, pace, or wreck things the moment you leave, that's tipped past devotion into separation anxiety. And that version is worth taking seriously. Following you is about staying close. This next habit sends owners into a panic for no good reason at all. Eating grass. Your dog drops their head mid-walk and starts grazing like a tiny cow, and your first thought is the classic one. They're sick. They're about to throw up. Here's the truth that should calm you right down. Most of the time, that's simply wrong. Study after study has found that the large majority of grass-eating dogs aren't ill beforehand and don't vomit afterward. So why do it? Honestly, often because they just like it. The texture, the taste, the fresh green crunch underfoot. Some researchers think it's an old instinct for adding a bit of fiber or roughage. Others put it down to plain boredom or the simple satisfaction of foraging. Usually it's a perfectly normal dog being a dog. The one time it actually earns your attention is if the grazing turns sudden, frantic, and non-stop, paired with real vomiting. That's the version that deserves a call to the vet. Grass on the way in is harmless. What they do right after they poop is where it gets genuinely strange. Kicking up grass after pooping. You've seen it 100 times. Your dog finishes their business, then fires off a furious spray of grass and dirt with their back legs like they're trying to bury the evidence. Nearly everyone reads this as a tidy little cover-up. It's the exact opposite. Your dog isn't hiding a thing. They're broadcasting. The pads of their feet are packed with scent glands, and all that dramatic kicking stamps their personal signature into the ground, layering their own smell right on top of the message they just left behind. The torn-up turf doubles as a visual flag, a billboard that says, "I was here" to every dog who passes by later. So that ridiculous little victory dance isn't your dog being neat and considerate. It's them signing their name in the boldest way a dog knows how, and feeling extremely pleased with themselves about it. That's the loudest announcement your dog can make in public. The next one is the most private thing they'll ever show you, and only to someone they truly trust. Rolling over to show you their belly. Your dog flops onto their back, exposes that soft belly to the ceiling, and looks up at you. It's tempting to read it as a flat-out order for a belly rub, and a lot of the time, you'd be right. A dog that rolls over loose, wiggly, and relaxed in front of you is doing something genuinely brave. Baring the most defenseless part of their body, which is about as pure a statement of trust as a dog can make. But here's the nuance that separates people who get dogs from people who don't. The very same posture can mean the opposite. A stiff, tense dog flashing its belly may be saying, "Please, I'm no threat, back off." The answer is written in the body. Loose and squirmy with a soft face? Rub away. Frozen, lip-licking, eyes wide with white showing. That belly is a white flag, not an invitation. Reading your dog's body is one half of understanding them. The other half lives in their nose. And it's exactly why every single walk grinds to a halt, stopping to sniff everything on a walk. You've got somewhere to be, and your dog has decided this one fence post deserves 90 uninterrupted seconds of investigation. It's maddening, until you understand what's actually going on down there. For a dog, the world is built out of smell the way ours is built out of sight. And a good sniff isn't a delay, it's the whole point of the walk. That patch of grass is a crowded message board. Who passed by, when, and what kind of mood they were in. Your dog isn't being stubborn, they're reading. And here's what should change how you walk. Letting them sniff freely is one of the best things you can do for their mind. A walk where a dog gets to actually use their nose tires them out and satisfies them far more than a brisk march that covers twice the distance. Sometimes the slow walk is the better walk. Out there, the whole world is theirs to explore. But the moment it starts to feel like too much, your dog does something that reveals exactly who they run to. Climbing on top of you. You're sitting down, minding your own business, when your dog launches across the room and climbs straight onto your chest, all their weight right over your heart. Old school trainers called this a power move, a dog trying to dominate you. They had it exactly backwards. This is the single most vulnerable thing a dog can do. By pressing their full weight against you, your dog floods their own brain, and yours, with the chemistry of safety. The same deep calm that close contact gives a frightened child. Your chest carries your strongest scent and the steady sound of your heartbeat. And when the world feels loud or scary, the floor suddenly feels too open, too exposed. So they don't bolt for a corner. They climb onto the one creature they trust to keep them safe, and they stay. Sit with what that actually means. When your dog is most afraid, the safest place in their entire universe isn't a place at all. It's you. And that choice doesn't switch off when they're awake. Look at where your dog puts their body the second they fall asleep. Sleeping pressed right up against you. Your dog has a whole bed to themselves. Maybe a cooler spot on the floor, more room, more comfort. And yet, night after night, they pick the few inches of mattress jammed against your back, or curl into the bend of your knees, or fall asleep with one paw resting on your leg. Think about what they're giving up to do that. They're trading space, airflow, and comfort for a single thing: contact. Sleep is the most defenseless a dog ever is, and the spot they choose to be, defenseless, tells you everything. Their ancestors slept piled together because closeness meant warmth and survival. But your dog isn't cold, and nothing in your bedroom is hunting them. They press into you anyway, because at the deepest, most unguarded level of their being, you are the safe place. Of every spot in the world to let their guard down, they chose the one right next to you. So before you go, here's your scorecard. Run back through all 18 and count how many your dog actually does. That's their number out of 18. Then drop 2 things in the comments. That score, and the one behavior you'd been reading completely wrong until today. I read every single comment. And if your dog cleared most of these 18, then you're not living with a pet. You're living with someone who's been quietly telling you they love you in 18 different ways. And now, finally, you understand the language.